Welcome back to Crochet by Night. Tonight we're going to work on this Busy Bee market bag. It has bobble stitches on the outside here, which to me kind of looks like some honeycomb. I got the bees and the flower from the dollar store, cost me $1, and I got the handles out of a crochet magazine that was a free gift. So you can use your imagination and embellish yours any way you want to, or you can go online. On YouTube there's several great crocheters that have bee appliques that you could use. You can see where I made mine look a little more rustic with yellow shining through. I did that on purpose. If you don't want yours to be as rustic looking, you don't have to slip stitch around this front piece, and I talked to you about that within the video. So here we go, let's get started, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up so that I can keep making more videos for you. In this video we'll be using a 6mm crochet hook and then whatever yarn you choose. I'm using some leftover Red Heart Super Saver in the yellow, in my black there, in black, and in white. The first thing we're going to do is create a slip knot. To create a slip knot, form a circle, pinch your finger there, take the end that is not part of the skein up through the circle, pull tight. You're going to insert your hook, and we're going to chain 46. So now yarn over, pull your loop through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Keep doing that until you have 46 chains. Okay, once you have your 46 chains, we're going to single crochet, which is in the US, a US term. Single crochet, not in this loop, which has your, not in this chain, which has your loop coming out, extending out of it, but in that first chain from the hook. See, this one's still considered part of the hook. And we're going to do one single crochet. You know, to do a single crochet, you insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. That gives you 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. And we're going to do that all the way down the row. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that all the way down the row. When you get to the very end, you will have 45 single crochets. Okay, when you get all 45, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. So now you're working in the back side. You see the back side has kind of is bumpier. And for this pattern, we're going to work right back in to that very first opening. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to continue with single crochets. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to continue with single crochets all the way down the row. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. At the end of this row, we will have 45 single crochets. 45 is the number, the magic number for both front and back of this bag. So continue putting single crochets in all the way down. If you are a beginner, I suggest you stop the video here and make sure you're counting each stitch. I used to think when I was a beginner that I didn't have to count the stitches, that I could just do other things and it would be okay, and I would always end up missing one somewhere or ending up with two. So when I'm doing what seems to be a simple pattern of single crochets, even years after I first started crocheting, I stop and count my stitches. As an intermediate or an advanced crocheter, you don't have to count them every row, but it's always good to just double check. So you're going to be ensuring that you have 45 single crochets at the end of the row. So keep going, and I'll meet you down here at the end. So I'm going to stop and count. It starts twisting up with the first few rows, but then it'll start laying flat. It'll flatten itself out once we get more rows on it. So as you can see, this looks like a V. That's one, looks like a V. Let's see if I can get it. That's my first stitch, and then it's my first single crochet, and then my second. So I'm going to go through and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have all 45 stitches, all 45 single crochets. So I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work, and I'm going to continue putting single crochet rows in until I have 47 rows of 45 stitches. When you're done, you'll have a piece that looks like this, and then we're going to go in and slip stitch in an alternate color all the way around it. So continue on until you have 45, until you have your stitch count is 45 across and 47 up. So here is my second piece, my back piece, and I'm not going to do the stitching on it, but you will need to do 2 panels of 45 across and 47 rows up. Once you have both panels worked, we're just going to come in here at the corner and insert our hook, and we're going to slip stitch all the way around the piece, creating a border. So this will be my front piece, and this is my back piece. So go ahead and continue on and create your front and back panel. 45 stitches, 45 single crochets across, and 47 rows up. Okay, once you have both panels created, we're going to work on the sides. And the sides are, for me, actually really fun to do. I've got this one done, and we're going to do the second one together. I'm going to use my white yarn for this. And just like I did with the panels, I'm going to make a slip knot, insert my hook. Now on this one I'm going to only chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So 8 across. And then I'm going to insert my hook in this very first chain stitch right here, and I'm going to single crochet. I'm going to single crochet all the way across. That's 2, that's 3, that's 4, 5, 6, and 7. Once I have my 7 stitches across, I'm going to chain 1 and turn. Now comes the fun part. In the very first stitch, we're going to put a single crochet. Now in the next stitch, we're going to yarn over, and we're going to insert our hook, and yarn over and pull up a loop, and yarn over and just pull through 2 stitches, leaving 2 on your hook. And then we're going to yarn over and insert our hook back in that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and hold. That gives us 1, 2, 3 stitches on our hook, yarn over, insert your hook back in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves us 1, 2, 3, 4 on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook in the same hole, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook back in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you should have 6 stitches, 6 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should have 6 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through all 6 stitches and chain 1. And then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. And see how that, when you do that, it kind of on the back side you can see the bubble appear. Okay, so we're going to do another bobble stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves 2 on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves you 3 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Leaves you 4 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That gives us 6 on the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to pull through all 6 and chain 1, closing that off. And then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. So now we have 2 bobbles. We're going to be working on our third one. We should have 2 stitches left here. One that we're going to put a bobble in, and then one that we'll put a single crochet in. So let's do the bobble stitch again. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So far that's 4 on our hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 5 on the hook. 1 more. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops on your hook, and chain 1, closing that stitch off. And then in our very last stitch, which sometimes can hide from you, you're going to put a single crochet, and then you're going to chain 1 and turn. And look at that, we have 3 bobble stitches. So we have a stitch on each end, a stitch between the 2 bobbles, and we have the 3 bobbles. So that's a total of 7 stitches that we're going to be working with. So we're going to go right in here for the next row. We're going to go right in here to this first stitch, which is right next to the bobble. And we're going to insert our hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 for a single crochet. Now, for this one, do you see where your chain stitch is kind of, let's see if I can, see where your chain stitch is kind of laid across here? You're going to insert your hook under both loops of that chain stitch, yarn over, and complete a single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet the stitch that's between the bobbles, and then we're going to find this chain stitch at the top of this bobble, and we're going to single crochet between the bobbles. Next, find the stitch at the top, the chain stitch, and single crochet, and that leaves us with our very last stitch, and we're going to single crochet in that. Okay, so that's the first row of a 2-row repeat. We're going to chain 1 and turn. Our second row of the 2-row repeat is this bobble row that we were doing earlier. So insert your hook in the first stitch, in the first single crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, this next one is a bobble stitch, so yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, leaving 2 on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook in the same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That leaves 3. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That gives you 6. So you're going to pull through, yarn over and pull through all 6 on your hook, and then chain 1, closing that stitch off. Find the next stitch, and we're going to put a single crochet, and then another bobble stitch in the next stitch. This time I'm not going to count it off. You try it on your own. And pull through and chain 1. Next stitch is a single crochet. That was the 5th stitch. The next one is another bobble. You've got all 6 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 6, chain 1, and that leaves us 1 stitch left for our final single crochet. We're going to chain 1 and turn. So our 2-row repeat, we have 1 row of single crochet, and then 1 row of alternating single crochet, bobble, single crochet, bobble, single crochet, bobble, single crochet. You should always have 7 stitches across, 4 single crochets, 1 here, 1 between, that's 2, 3, 4, and 1 in the top of each one of these bobbles. So it's 7 across. So continue on doing the 2-row repeat until you get a strip of bobbles. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I did 15 rows of bobbles and 15 rows of bobbles and 17 rows of single crochets to get this side. Continue on and complete one side, and then I'll show you how to do the outside. You need 2 sides like this. I just got to the end of my 15th bobble row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we had the initial chain, and then we did a row of single crochet, a row of bobble, a row of single crochet, a row of bobble, all the way down. I'm going to chain 1 and turn my work and go ahead and do one more row of single crochet, just like we've been doing, and end there. So let me do that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then I am going to cut my yarn and pull it through, fasten off. Okay, so let's see if we can see these. So this was my first side that I did, and then I put a contrasting color around it. This is my second side. We're fixing to put contrasting color around it. So right now you should have 2 panels. Your first panel, 45 single crochets across by 47 rows up. Then you're going to have a slip stitch border all the way around. You're going to have your second panel, 45 single crochets across, 47 rows up. And now you're going to complete 2 sides of bobble stitches. This is my first one. I already have the border. This is my second one. We're about to add the border. So get your contrasting color. Set that aside. Create a slip knot. Insert your hook and find the very corner, the very first stitch here. Not the one that you have tied off on, but the one at the end or the beginning of that row. And you're going to insert your hook. And you've already got this color on, and you're going to just yarn over and pull through all the way through. Now you're going to add, in this corner, we're going to add 3 single crochets. I'm going to chain, you're going to chain 1 and add 3 single crochets. That chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. Now I'm going to add a single crochet all the way down the side of my piece, keeping things even. Get myself a little slack here on the yarn. Keeping things even, going into the side there of that bobble and then into the space, kind of side of the bobble and then into the space. I'm going to do that all the way down until I get to my next corner. Approaching my next corner, I'm going to go to find the I put my last stitch on the side here. Now I'm going to find the corner, and I'm going to put 3 single crochets in that corner. That kind of helps us move around the piece. And then continue on with single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That gives me, that brings me to the next corner. We know that there were 7 stitches across. We have 3 in this first one, 5 in the center, and now we'll have 3 in that last one there. So I'm going to hold my tail here, and I'm going to put 3 single crochets. Now, for this next side, we want to do as many single crochets down this side as we did down this side, just to kind of make it even. So from the corner, I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 28, 20. I put 30 stitches between the 2 sets of, I put 30 stitches between the 2 sets of corners, which makes sense because you have 15 bobbles, and I did 2 stitches per bobble. One kind of in the side there and one in the space. So make sure now that you have 30 stitches on one, or whatever, make sure however many you did on your side, that you do the same amount on the other side between your corners. So I'm going to go ahead and put my single crochets all the way down this side, taking care to make sure I've got 30 stitches before I get to the next corner. Okay, I'm approaching my last corner. Right here, and I'm going to put 3 single crochets in that corner, and then I should have 5 stitches between here, between this corner and that corner. So let's just see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 exactly. So then I'm just going to find the very first double crochet that I created, and I am going to slip stitch to it. Clip my yarn and fasten off, and there's my second side. Alright, if you like to block your work, then you could block these by wetting them and putting them on your block and pinning them down. I personally only block a few things, sometimes scarves, things that I'm trying to show a lot of the detail on, or squares. You can, most of the time I can just get it to be about the same size by just doing a little stretching, because you know sometimes you have more tension in your stitches than in others, even though it's the same stitch count. As you can see, those look pretty well the same. So now I have my 2 sides. I have my back panel, and I have my front panel, of which I slip stitched around the outside of. The last piece of this puzzle is going to be the bottom. So let me set these aside. The bottom is created the same way, your starting chain of 46, and then putting a single crochet in each stitch across, starting with the first chain from the hook, which gives you 45 across, and then chaining 1, flipping your work, and completing another row of single crochets. So here I have my chain already worked, And I have my next row, I have row 1 and 2 completed. Now I'm going to work on row 3. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to put single crochets. I'm going to put single crochets all the way across. You can make these in any color you want. You don't have to do the same colors that I did by any means. Be creative, however you want your bag to look. Use your imagination on how you want your bag to look. I am going to continue across till I have 9 rows. Once I have 9 rows of single crochet, I will cut my yarn and tie off, and we'll be ready to put this bag together. I'm so excited to see what it'll look like. And I think it's a lot of fun. Sometimes the single crochets get tedious, but okay, chain 1 and turn in my work. Sometimes I think the single crochets get tedious, but I'll stop and do the bobble stitch on one of the sides first. I'll stop and do one of the bobble stitch sides first, something just to kind of break it up. I like the Red Heart Super Saver yarn for this purse because it's a little stiffer and it helps hold its shape better. You could also probably do this same purse or same bag utilizing chunky yarn, or it would look good, or 2 strands of 4-ply, making it really durable, heavy. But if you're going to do that, definitely go up in hook size. I like to use a 6mm. If I'm going to use 2 strands, I definitely want to use a bigger hook. If you want to make it smaller, you can use DK weight and a smaller hook. It's pretty versatile. You can do just about anything. Once you get 9 rows of single crochet for the bottom piece, go ahead and grab your contrasting yarn and do just like you did around your sides. Put a border on it. That border will be 3 single crochets in the corner and 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way down each side. Then 3 single crochets in the corner and 1 stitch across, single crochet across, until you come all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, and then I put my border all the way around it. So you keep on putting your border all the way around the bottom piece of this bag, and I will meet you back when I'll meet you all the way back around. To start putting this bag together, you need to select which yarn you want to use to sew it each piece together. Take one of the sides and the bottom, and you're going to I lay them face down and then pick them up so that the front sides are facing each other. And I am going to sew from the corner of this first side, I'll sew that corner into the corner, starting here with each corner of the bottom and the side. Wrong sides out. And I'm going to catch the back loop of each piece and put a single crochet. Back loop of each piece and put a single crochet. back loop of each piece, single crochet. Back loop of each piece, single crochet, all the way down. I know with me using the black yarn it's kind of hard to see, but I'm just finding the back loop of each stitch and sewing it together. There's other ways to sew this together. You could sew under all of the loops. You could take a needle and yarn on it and sew it that way. This is the way I like to do it. Okay, so when I get to the corner, I'm gonna tie off. So this is what it looks like so far. And I know that's really kind of hard to see. Just trying to find a way to shield it. But we're doing it together. So the other side's going to be the same way. I'm going to put the right sides together, and I'm going to sew, and I'm going to single crochet all the way across, hooking the bottom and the sides together. So I'm going to find the corner, insert my hook, find the corner, insert my hook. This time I'll do it with the white yarn so you can see, and then I'll take it out later. And okay, so I've got my right sides together, my wrong sides are on the outside, and I'm going to find the back loop and the back loop of the matching stitch, and I'm going to stitch that together all the way across. So go ahead and do that, and then you're going to have what looks like one really long piece, because the bottom and the sides will be together. So here's the difference. I stitched it with white there, stitched it with black. So if you want your stitches to show, you do it with contrasting yarn. If not, you do it with the same yarn that you did your that you put your border on each piece with. And then you're going to clip your yarn and fasten off. I should have practiced what I preached and sewed in my ends already so we wouldn't have all these showing, but I was trying to hurry up. So you can see this is the inside of my side, this is the inside of the bottom, and inside of the other side. Okay, I have my front panel, and this is the front side of it. That's the back side of it. I'm going to sew, oops, gotta flip it over. I'm going to sew, nope, I had it right. Okay, I'm going to put the front side of my front panel and the front side of one of my sides together, and I'm going to sew all the way down to the corner. And then from this corner to this corner. That leaves the bottom kind of hanging out here. So go ahead and get that done. and then I'll meet back with you when I get all the way to this. I'll meet back with you when I get all the way to this corner. Once you've got the side and the front sewed together, you're at the corner, you're going to go ahead and fold it over, and you're going to sew the front to the bottom piece. Just keep going till you get to that next corner. Once you have the front panel sewed to the sides and the bottom, go ahead and turn it inside out and put your back panel on and sew it on. And when you're done, your back panel will be on there just like that. Now I have decided I was going to make some bee appliques to put on here because I want this to be my busy bee bag. But I found this at the dollar store for $1. And so I think it's the felt. I think I'm going to put them on here and see how they look. You can embellish yours any way you want. There are a lot of really good crafters out there, crocheters, who have appliques of different kinds on YouTube. So you can search and find you some of those, or you can go to the dollar store or your local hobby store and pick up some felt embellishments. The embellishments here just have a little sticker that sticks to it. I'm going to put a little glue on the back of that and leave that in place so that it doesn't come off. And also this should wash pretty well. I have these almost lime green chartreuse, I'm not sure what color they are, plastic handles that I got in a crochet magazine as a free gift. And I've had them for years. And I think I'm going to use them on this particular project because I think it'll give great contrast. If you don't have plastic handles, you can go to Goodwill or to Salvation Army somewhere and pick up an old purse that has seen better days, and you can use the straps, cut the straps from that. You can make your own strap. I might even do the bobble stitch like we did here, exact same way, only make a long one to use here and attach them here and here and here. That would be really cute to continue the bobble all the way across the top. But just use your imagination. This is really simple and easy to do, and you can improve upon it. Just use your creativity, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you make out of it. If you will, you can always go over to my Crochet by Night Facebook page and leave pictures of what you've made. I would sure love to see them. I'm going to sew these on, and then I will add pictures to this video and upload it. So I sure appreciate you and hope to see you again sometime. As always, have a good night.